The summer solstice this year is unlike any other that we have experienced in our lifetime before. There is a really massive wave of completion energy moving into an entirely new paradigm from the moment of the solstice, which peaks in just a few hours. And from that moment on, we are going to enter an entirely new timeline. This has been such a profound year. And 2025 being that vibrational frequency of a 9, we have seen so many aspects of completion in our life. You may have noticed over this past half of the year your karma, your lessons, your programs, your patterns, your habits, your behaviors, your repetitive nature that holds you in your past has been showing up at lightning speed for you to choose something different. And we really have been able to come to this point of release and letting go, release and letting go. I've talked a lot about it in the last video around the summer solstice and the exiting points around the death and the rebirth cycle that we are experiencing as we go through our own inner transformation. I will link that video below. And this is part of what is happening now. So we are in this threshold. As we reach the summer solstice in a few hours, we're moving into this rebirth. And with that 9 frequency, we have let go again and again, and things are happening at such an accelerated rate. The interesting part about these days getting longer, and this being the longest day of the year, shortest night of the year, as the days get longer, you would think that we're going to experience it like there's more time, like it's more expansive and more spacious. However, the experience that has been happening, I know for myself and a lot of those in my inner circle, we've been experiencing it like time is flying right by. And specifically in the last 3 weeks, it has accelerated once again. And every time we experience this acceleration of time, we have an opportunity to really come into the reality beyond time and space. And when we are in that reality beyond time and space, we're beyond our senses, we're beyond that linear aspect of time, everything stands still, even if the time on the clock and even if the times on the calendar or the days on the calendar are moving quicker. We are in the most potent point of creation when we are beyond our senses, when we are beyond time and space. And that is when we find the present moment. When we're in that moment, we are open to every possibility, every potential of creation. And what we've been experiencing for this first half of 2025 is a complete shift in our paradigm, a complete shift in our identity. And this 9 frequency being the subtle body. The subtle body is what brings us close to our soul. It's when we notice the subtleties in life. So, for instance, if I move my arm like this and I'm very unaware, it just happens and it's like, okay, what just happened? But if I move my hand like this, and I'm very conscious. So even if I move it quick and I'm conscious about it, right? There is a different element that I am holding and a different frequency that I am holding of presence and awareness and consciousness. So one could say then, when we are in tune with our subtle body, we are in tune with our soul. When we are in tune with our subtle body, we've reached a level of mastery in our life. So that is a key theme for the frequency of 9, mastery or mystery, right? Either everything is a mystery because we're not conscious, we're not aware, we're living by default, we're unconsciously creating our reality, or we experience the true mastery of who we are. And we are co-creators. We are here to be aware, to be conscious of what it is that we are feeling, what we are sensing, what we are speaking, what we are living, what we are creating. And having this level of consciousness and coming back to it again and again each time we go unconscious and unaware. And when we catch ourselves and bring ourselves back into the moment, we're training ourselves to remember. And if you take that word remember and you separate it, it's remembering all the fragments of who we were, who we are, and who we ever will be. Every part of ourselves, every gift, every ability. It's really about bringing all of those fragments, remembering ourselves into wholeness. And when we are experiencing wholeness, we have reached a state of divine union or sacred union within. And this is the true twin flame nature, the true twin flame paradigm that we are here to experience. It happens within. And when we can allow ourselves to be open, to be the nurturing feminine energy, to hold the context for the content, which is the masculine, we are working in harmony. And that content that comes into the context of our femininity are the seeds that are planted. And if we are nourished and nurtured, many seeds can be planted in our soil and we can grow and blossom in so many ways. And it's not only about us, because once we nurture ourselves and we really tap into the subtle nature of who we are, we can hold space for more. We can hold space for others. We can hold space infinitely when we are tapped in that dimension of living. And so I invite you to really reflect on this first half of the year and tune in to what you've experienced, what you have resolved, what you have released. Because the subtle body contains all of the imprints of every experience we've ever had. And it does contain these imprints of our karma. Yet if you have resolved that karma and shifted and transformed it, and we say that in the yogic tradition, moving our karma into dharma, right? It's like releasing those patterns, the programs, the behaviors, the beliefs, the imprints, the distortions, the disillusion, the distractions, all of those things that keep us held and bound to our third dimensional reality. When we start to transcend those energies and we shift into the expanded realm of the truth of our wholeness, we shift into our dharma. And our dharma is our soul's purpose. It is our destiny. It is why we are here. We are here to use our karma, our lessons, our experiences, transform it into our purpose. You know, for me, I have a backstory of addiction. And it was over a 24-year period, 22 years of active addiction. This year in August will be 8 years of sobriety. And this has become part of what I use to help others, my own experience. I am able to see and feel and sense when someone is in a repetitive, habitual pattern, which is in fact an addiction. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to work directly with addicts in an addiction program. However, we all have addictions. We all have habits. We all have aspects of ourselves that are an old version that are holding us down, that we cling to because it's familiar and it's a comfort zone. And so, using what I've experienced through my own recovery and my own evolution and ascension, because that has been transcended, right? It is no more in my field. I'm able to hold that frequency and hold that space for others to move through their own habits and their addictions and their behaviors and their emotions. Because essentially, we are addicted to the emotions of the past, which hold us bound to our past. And there is a way to release it. And I'm sure you have been experiencing this because it has been quite a theme this year. It's been an acceleration of aspects of ourselves coming up for review, relationships showing up to test us, right? You know, test is an interesting word when you think of going to school and you take a test, right? And this truly is a masterclass being on earth. This is a masterclass. Our life is the initiation. And so these are all passages of time and initiation points where we are faced with another experience that is similar to a past experience. And it may be clothed in the most beautiful, bejeweled clothing, it may appear to be something completely different with the masks that are covering the true reality underneath. Yet because we are in this year of the 9, our subtlety is enhanced as long as we are practicing awareness and presence and coming back into the moment. And our subtlety will be our savior to move through those aspects of ourselves, make a different choice. And the moment we make a different choice, when we see something that appears to be a beautiful thing that we are feeling magnetically attracted or drawn to, we're able to step back and see through the clarity of our truth that this is just dressed up to see if we've truly tapped in to what is underneath. And when we are magnetically drawn to it, it's that old part of ourself, that residue that is still there. And the moment we choose something different, that residue releases. And the energy surges upward. It releases out of our system. It opens and expands our auric field, and we become more vital, more empowered, and more magnetic to attract these higher realms of experience that are in alignment with our own highest expression, our unique blueprint of divinity. And 9, we are here as this mastery. This truly is the year, completing the old, entering the new. I've said it many times in many videos, but it's like 1 foot is in the old world, 1 foot is in the new world, and we're continuously having these experiences. And this summer solstice is this turning point. Turning point on the earth, turning point in the wheel of the year. And the light codes, I tell you, these light codes, I literally am heating up as I'm sharing with you right now. And there's these surges of energy that are occurring, and they're activating us. It's literally burning away the karma. It's burning away all of that density to create space for more light. And when we look at the solstice as this peak time of grandfather sun, the sun's rays activating us, it is literally clearing our path to step into the new. And so this is our opportunity during this time. Whether you're watching this video at the solstice, before the solstice, after the solstice, the energy is still here. Use this energy to go into ceremony. Use this energy to go into ritual. Work with the elements. Create an altar. Light a candle. Sit in nature. Be embraced by the sun's rays. Feel yourself connect in with the sun. In ancient times, the sun was our source of energy. It was how we functioned. We didn't need to eat. We simply allowed the sun to give us our vitality. And the more that we can connect in to these old ways of being, to the honoring of these cycles and rhythms of the earth, we start to reclaim aspects of ourself, those remembrances that allow us to expand even further into our greatness. I'm wishing you the most amazing second half of this 2025, knowing that this death and rebirth process is one of expansion, one of liberation, one of potential for creation. And it's time to truly ask yourself, what is it I am here to create? The time is now. We are being asked to step forward in the light of our truth, allowing our heart and soul to lead the way.